So how was this? I mean, this is so, having Zoom meetings is one thing, but doing a play with Zoom, it just seems weird. And how can you, because you related to each other really well. When you had scenes where you were interacting, it was almost like you were in the same room.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's magical.
Yeah.
I have the fortune of having worked with Sara before, but everybody else, it's all theatrical magic.
Yeah. Well, you're good at it. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it also helps having a really good director who really knows like human interaction and character and yeah.
And pays attention to the oddities of Zoom and making sure that their interactions make sense and connect via Zoom appropriately.
Yeah, Zoom was never meant to do what we're doing with it, but with a careful touch, it seems to work pretty well.
I also have to say this is probably the most elaborate staged reading that I've done on Zoom. I've done a number of staged readings where we've had maybe one or two rehearsals. A lot of them have been like, here's the script, we'll meet on whenever and we'll go through the staged reading, which is really just a cold reading. But this has been more like a play that I didn't have to, essentially, which was really nice because it was really well done. In considering all the different technical aspects of utilizing the technology in a way that I hadn't utilized before. So much so that I felt obligated to rig everything. Like I took a picture of my setup and sent it to a friend of mine where I have my ring light taped with electrical tape and my camera taped with electrical tape and my laptop set on top of a shoe rack, and like I have to lock my 7-year-old out of my bedroom. I actually got like a letter from my HOA saying, please close your window at night because we think you're crazy. And last night, they were honestly like, what's happening at your house at night? It's very loud. And HOA, like you weren't like loud after quiet hours in your HOA, but like you're new to the neighborhood. Maybe you want to close your window. And I'm like, ooh. Probably isn't the first impression I want to make to the HOA. So, I didn't mind.
Well, apart from getting you in trouble with your HOA, we're delighted you did the show with us, and we're trying to make it so it's really, you guys you have extra fun doing it if we have all of the extra elements, and the audience has a lot more fun seeing it. And if we're charging people, we want to give them a show. So, it just seems right. And we're trying to convince people that we are a rehearsed show. It's not just a reading where people have rehearsed maybe once or twice and they're just reading it. So gradually we are getting audience who's beginning to know that's what we're doing. So it's tough making that transition, but it's going to be a while. So we want it to be good and fun for everybody.
I've like Stephanie, I've also done a number of Zoom shows, and this was probably the first one where we actually had a tech rehearsal. And I was like, this is tech. This feels like tech. This feels normal. This is
yeah. Of course, actors hate tech rehearsals, so.
Well, it's way better though when you're doing tech like in the comfort of your own home. You're needed. I'm like over here playing video games. And then...
supposed to admit that.
During tech, only during tech.
I was reading my lines when I wasn't needed.
That says a lot about both of you.
I was curling my hair.
That's something you really do. And your character did it too when she was
right.
Well, it looks like we have a couple of comments here. Pat Price says bravo to everyone, and John says very enjoyable, well done. Everyone was very funny. So there you go.